In a world where voices are often drowned out by the noise of mainstream, pioneers are carving out a space for dialogue, democracy, and change.
I think we will tackle a lot of the critical problems that face our democracy by asking the questions that no one wants to ask and looking for the people who are brave enough to give us those answers. We are at a point in our country where it's a watershed moment. It's either we do something now to fix the problems that we have moving forward, or we hamper ourselves continuously and regress even further back than we are right now. So the podcast party, we put this together to get brave men and women who are not afraid to ask important questions, and brave men and women who are not afraid to answer those questions multiple ways. So there's a show already called VVIP, where we've been doing roadshows, actually hitting the ground, interviewing what people say everyday South Africans, right? Getting their thoughts on how they feel about democracy, how they feel about politics in general, how their outlook for the country looks like. Interestingly enough, on the VVIP TikTok page, there's a young lady we interviewed by the name Palesa. And in 2 days, that clip had 70,000 views, meaning that we are resonating with, or at least Palace's message, let me not take credit for it, but Palace's message was resonating with people. And she is one of a million in this country. And we are just going out to reach out and speak to people on a daily basis to not only get them to register to vote, but to actually take it upon themselves to go and cast their ballot. One of our tenets that we live by in Podcast Party is take action. So our 3 hashtags are tune in, turn up, and take action. So it's not enough that we have these conversations, but what do we do once we've had them?
The podcast party is more than just podcasts. It's a call to action, a beacon for those seeking to make an informed decision at the polls, and a bridge towards a future where every voice matters.
Look, I think we need change. The change does not necessarily mean we need a new political party. It just means we need a different way of running South Africa. If the incumbent ANC is actually looking to change, hopefully this will be a wake-up call for them listening to conversations like this. If not, then hopefully people will vote differently for different political parties. We have seen some of the problems we have in this country. We've got power outages, load shedding, our roads are in bad shape, our railway system is in bad shape. We're losing a lot of our state-owned enterprises, and there's rampant corruption. So someone needs to speak, but speaking is not enough. And hopefully from these conversations, people will then start doing. Very sadly, I have to say, I don't think young people are as invested. And I almost feel like some of the political parties almost don't mind, because with young people and their energy, they demand certain answers. And if you don't have those answers for them, they kind of don't vote for you and they don't support you. But we do need young people to understand that politics is not an old people's game. Politics is actually about running the affairs of the city. All the things that frustrate young people, drug abuse, access to good quality education, opportunities, jobs, etc. It's something that young people need to be invested in. But I think young people are so distracted with drugs, alcohol, entertainment that they've kind of detached and they've kind of logged out from being involved. So sadly, in these upcoming elections, I'm not seeing youth participation being as important as it should be.
We're at a pivotal moment in our history, and the podcast party invites us all to be a part of the conversation. So what do you think? Is the podcast party the remix South Africa's democracy needs? Will you be tuning in? Let's get this party started, and more importantly, let's get talking. Akashni Ashok Lechana for the Narrative Note.